Welcome back with Whayle Mentality episode here in the backyard of Brian Blatt, and we'll get a chance to dig into why Brian and his ventures and what he's working on is a complete uniform alliance or in alignment with the Whayle Mentality and what we preach with our 3 E's. So Brian Blatt, somebody I've known now, call a friend for, I'm going to say probably since 2006. When did we?
That's right.
2006. Yeah. So many years, worked together, played intramural sports together, worked out in the gym together, invest together, and now working on things that are self-improvement, things that help people reach their goals and are helping us reach our goals and love to share. A couple of things that we want to talk about today. First off is a book that I'll let Brian describe that he wrote, and it's one that we're reading in the Aloya household as we speak, that both my 2 kids and my mom have weekly conversations about, including myself reading. But so now I'm going to talk about that book and again why it aligns with the 3 E's, but then also how are you applying it. And so I'm a real estate fan, and Brian is as well. I would say start investing in micro levels, like probably levels that the everyday person can invest with, like self-directed IRAs and things like that. But then now getting into the realm of fundraising and syncing up funds from other investors to scale up. And so Brian has a couple of projects that he's been working on that I want to get a chance to talk about, and how he applied the things in his book and the things that we preach with Whayle Mentality into the things that he's executing. So with that, Brian, I'll let you take it over and explain a little bit about Brian. What does the audience need to know about Brian and how you got into your book?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Leon. So I guess first thing I want to clear the air, right? So the viewers at home, right off the bat, they're like, are these guys trustworthy, right? So they heard you say, back in 06, we're friends, we met, intramural sports, shared some lifting weights in the gym. Yeah. They're looking right now saying, hey, you guys may have been in the same gym, but I know Leon was about 3 squat racks down from where this guy was. No. So, same building anyways. So we'll clear the air there.
That's not the case. I've seen Blatt in
action. Yeah. Been a bit. So I appreciate it. First of all, and I also want to say, the things that you're doing with the Whayle Mentality, I'm a big fan. I'm watching, your trajectory and what you're doing. Man, it's awesome. It's awesome. So, for those that may be coming to this, your channel and seeing what is Whayle Mentality about, who's this Leon guy? Right. Like the real deal, right? So it's a good dude. So anyways, I appreciate it. So so you mentioned the book, and what I would say there, so Lessons from the Breakfast Table, so I wrote that a couple years ago. And really, kind of the vision, the inspiration for that book was to leave a legacy, leave something for my children. Right. So it's lessons that, frankly, I think all of us, we all know. Right. It's the wisdom of the ages sort of thing. There's no aha lesson that I invented. Right. It's all the secret sauce that since Jesus and all of the great leaders since have been teaching us.
That's right.
But it's a way to leave it now in printed form, and God willing, hopefully my kids will take from it someday, and maybe their children. Right. So that's been a pretty cool journey.
I think it's awesome, and for those of you that'll get a chance to read the book, hopefully everybody, because again, I think it applies to everything, and that's why I love it. It's really a systematic way of thinking through different, I would say, beliefs, attitudes, frameworks, mindsets, that if applied to anything can navigate any situation. So it can help you improve in your marriage. It can help you improve in your work. It can help you start up your business. It can help you all these and a lot of it doesn't even take a whole lot of talent. It takes effort.
Right.
But not necessarily a whole lot of talent. Like, giving it your all and believing and making right choices and learning from your mistakes and all these various things that the book preaches. That if you control that and you apply it, can definitely allow you to grow. And so when we talk about the 3 E's, and here you see it on my shirt, excuse the the sweat. 'Cause again, we are outside in the Houston environment.
It is fall, right?
That's right. Yesterday officially. When you see the 3 E's, the education, the experience, and then the engagement, what is preaching on is saying, first, you got to learn your craft.
Right.
And the book, the lessons from the breakfast, the book itself is a education, call it arm in itself. It's telling you what you need to have. You start with your attitude, get your attitude right from the get-go. That's free, no effort. Get it right. Then start believing the items, and then go through the A, B, and C's, and then now start choosing right. And all these things that you can control, dreaming, on E, to education. That, when I saw that, it tied directly into, again, what we're preaching. But when you have that, they call that framework to go back on and learn from, now all of a sudden you're setting yourself up to chances of now testing it out, battle testing it. That's where you gain your experience. So in your book, the M stands for mistakes. And it's not really mistakes, but it's really chances to try it, to learn. Where did you not get the answer you wanted? And then pivot. And then you're always shooting for your X marks the spot. You're always shooting for that what does good look like.
That's right.
And so if you look at, okay, how am I learned the craft and education.
That's right.
And now through my experience, I'm trying to see, am I getting there or not? And I'm continuously self-reflecting and learning and applying that knowledge. And then now, once I get it there, now I just stay engaged. I just never quit. Keep on doing it over and over over again. And so, I mean, just reading through the book, I said, like, it applies. It's the same. And there's another book that we used is Extreme Ownership. Okay, and this is the Navy SEAL Jacko Williams and I'm drawing a blank on the other gentleman. But it's the way the Navy SEALs treat leadership. And again, their objective is to win so bad that they have to do it the right way. And that's the same thing with your book. You care about getting the right end game so bad that here's the right way. There's 26 ways to do it the right way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they all come back to the same thing. Being honest with yourself. Yeah. Understanding what good looks like and trying to get there. Doing everything you can. Don't blame other people. Take it on. Have responsibility. That was a big one. Extreme, own it. It's yours. And so, and even the yes, because you're going to get challenges, and and if you always say, yes, in extreme ownership, they said good. So anytime they got hit with the challenge, hey boss, the tire blew up on the way to get to work, and now we're about to be late. Good. Now what are we going to do?
That's right.
All right, so next, now we got another thing that's another obstacle to go work.
That's exactly right.
And you keep on attacking your problems with that attitude and that framework of yes, good, I got it, and you start working through those challenges. So now with your lessons, how have you, when you're seeing it used in the education framework as like with your kids or with your own household or your own friends or your own loved ones, how have folks tapped in, or can you explain how they might have applied something similar, if not directly from the book itself?
Yeah, no, so that was great. So first of all, I would say what you just said there in that, short amount of time, like that was the book. Like that was awesome. I should have had you write a foreword. Like that's incredible. So that was a great summary. So like for me, and again, the genesis of this book was really, as any father, right, any parent tries to do, it's, okay, how do I teach these lessons that I've learned over 40 years of trying to study and trying to better myself? How do I instill that into my children, who at the time were, maybe 4 and 7, right? And, what important lessons would I teach there? So you were mentioning the education, right? So, what does that look like? And again, like, so before this was a book, this literally was Sunday mornings. Hey, every week we're going to start, and we started A's for attitude. Yeah. We'd write it on the board. All right, what does that mean? And we'd have a discussion about why is it that important. And so throughout the week, I would challenge them when they came home. Hey, tell me about your day. Exactly. Okay, and so and if it was someone did this wrong to me, okay, well, so what? How can we learn? How can we grow? Right. And where was a positive attitude? How did that influence and lead to a better outcome? That's right. Right. That's right. And so it was going through that, and then I think it was we're probably halfway through the alphabet, and this idea of a book, right, started coming into play. But yeah, I mean, there are so many stories that, I've had the benefit of receiving from not only, from my parents first and foremost, like, my grandparents, close friends, great coaches, teachers, etc. Right. So I've had the benefit of all of those stories. But so throughout the book, right, it's harnessing, channeling some of those stories, whether it was personally or those that we all know about, the Abraham Lincoln story of persistence,
exactly. Right? That's right, never gave up.
Yeah, exactly, and you're right, and weaving that in. And I guess back to the education piece. For me growing up, and I think this is true with so many of us, right? So you drive around, you don't have to go that far before you come across the bumper sticker that says, "My child's an honor student."
Right.
Okay, that's great. That's great. School is very important. My wife is a school teacher.
Yeah, mine as well.
It's absolutely the foundation, right? But I guess as I look back, I thought good grades, that was it. Straight A's, and I'll be rich. Yeah. I'll be successful.
That's right.
Just get straight A's.
It's not the answer.
Right.
It's not the only answer.
So it is very important, right? And that does set you up for university, college, right, where you want to go. But I guess part of the lesson I was trying to teach is, hey, education is continuous. The rest of your life.
You learn how you learn in nature. That's crazy. It's there. The lessons are there. You're just observing, and you're seeing things, and you're saying, did they get what they wanted to see? Did they get the X that they were shooting for? If they did, how do I repeat that?
That's right.
Whatever it is, if it's an animal, if it's a autobiography, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And learning from all of that, like it's free.
It's all a teacher. That's right.
That's right.
That's exactly right.
It's how you apply your time a lot of times, and I think that's one of the big things. Like, I always credit my mom. She was real big on education, but she always found ways for you to learn that you didn't think you were learning, because she knew, like, if you went to like summer school, you would like it. So she said, we're gonna go to this fun summer camp or something. And it was nothing but science class, right? At the end of the day, you're talking about biology, but still, you dissected something. And did it on the campus at UCSD, so you got to sit in the college campus and do it, and all these various things that allow you to learn. When you don't think you're learning. And I think that's the beauty of education. You do whatever your X mark in the spot is.
That's it.
So if you say your item is, I truly want to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
Or I truly want to get into college. Even if you say the answer might not only be good grades. As you're getting yourself educated, you're going to learn that, also the people that are doing extra club things, the people that are showing some leadership skills within their church, or their Girl Scout, Boy Scout, or their sports team, or whatever else they're doing. All those various things all add to the end product. So
that's exactly right. Yeah. No. Well said. Well said.
Now, so now we talk about these learnings and teachings. And I can imagine, even as you're writing the book, you're reinforcing your own teachings and beliefs to yourself, right?
That's right.
Like so you're writing the book, and you're having to write with a good attitude, and you have to tell yourself, look, don't give up, and all these various things that you're already in the book. But then, so that's one item, and I know there's a lot of things in life. Like, you still work full time. I know you have outside investments. I know your kids are in sports. I know you're also in church. How do you? What are some of the things that you're applying? Those 26 beliefs, coupled with everything else that you learned in the process of that. What are some of those things that you're applying that learning to? I would say towards your success.
Yeah. So that's a great question, and I guess what I'll say is, so routinely I'll go back through the letters, right, and I'll quiz my kids at night. Okay, what's letter S, right? And half the time they get it wrong. I'm like, you are the star of this book.
Right.
Like,
your name's all in it.
Like, these other kids are reading it. They know this. Like, this is your book, right? So, so what I'd say is there's probably some keystone, words, right? Fundamental words that kind of culminate, may carry more or importance with it. But I'd say that they all come together as well, right? So I try to, periodically go back through and ask myself, right, and grade myself. Okay, persistence, right? We've referenced that. So has there been times where I faced a challenge and I just said, you know what, it's, forget it. Am I backing down from an obstacle, right? So there's been many times where it's a good reminder, and you're spot on. While it absolutely was written for my children, if the parts of it that sound preachy,
All right.
I'm preaching to myself. 100% preaching to myself. Right. So I hopefully others can find valuable lessons and benefit from it. But the reality is, man, that this was a selfish project that I needed to really soak and think through these important lessons so that they're good reminders for me to apply every day.
No, I think that's awesome, and I think that those are the types of things that, you know, when we talk about Whayle mentality, we're not talking about just being like a boss of a group or a manager, but it's truly saying, look, I'm the Whayle of what I desire my goal to be, my X. So some people want to be the CEO of a further on firm. Some people just want to be able to teach and pour love into some kindergartners. I mean, be a Whayle in that craft. Understand your craft. Be good at it. You know, show all the importance. And so there's, as you strive towards that objective, there's many, I'll say, pathways that get there. And I think, you know, a lot of times in society we try to say, look, oh no, I have this pathway. I'm Christian, so I use this as my pathway of prayer, and that put me on the path to get to this goal, and this is the only right way. And somebody else was like, no, they were praying to the, I don't know, they called it Mother Earth. You know, who knows? And that was their way of saying, hey, look, I'm on the right path, and keep staying persistent, and don't give up. And that was their path. And ultimately, they both became Whales in their craft, and they both worked. And I think a lot of times we have to say, look, we have to ask ourselves, does that path work? And if it does, you know, how you chose to do it, where you chose to pray.
We're all unique.
We're all unique.
Yeah,
we're all unique.
That's
and you can do it in your path. You know, I'm a big fan of Deion Sanders. What he's doing.
My goodness.
And it's because it's so much in this space. You know, I'm not necessarily a Colorado fan, but like just in his space. But he talks about like, no, this is my platform. Everybody had their unique way of doing it. Like like it came to me in this manner. And as you see him work, you see the results.
That's right.
And I see that in a lot of, you know, there is a sports example. You'll have it in politics. I've seen it in music, like Russell. He's a rapper out of the Bay Area, but he's in that same mind space.
That's exactly
Nipsey Hussle was another one out of LA. These folks, where they're talking about, if you get your mind right and stay on that same persistent path of right, if it's not the right thing, like move it away. Like make your choices.
That's right. It's either giving you a tailwind or a headwind.
That's right, exactly.
Right, for where you want to go.
That's right. And so, you know, so all these things that we're looking at and vibrating with people that are also doing it the same way, I think gets folks to your goals. And so even like we talk about real estate, and I think that's a sector that we both apply some of these same teachings in. When I had a chance to use my self-directed IRA for an investment, the first thing I did was say, look, what is Brian working on? I already know how he vibrates. I already know how he do his own math. I already know that he's beat it up and doubled and triple checked it. And even if it's not right from the get-go, he understands, oh, that was just a temporary mistake. No biggie. Like, we'll tweak it. Like, you're not going to lose that way. Why am I worried about it? So why would I not go shift those dollars that I had over until, and they're paying. So and I know you guys are expanding. Those kinds of things outside of real estate, I know also on the oil and gas side of the sector where I, you know, working with my past employer, not saying any names, did that same job for 18 years, and now stepping out, not even thinking of it as something that I would really do as a full-time job. It was much more of a do a few hours, keep it fun, keep it interesting, stay loose in it, but not necessarily truly work it, do only the real estate side. Now finding myself saying, look, there's more of a demand, more of an interest in that space. I need to scale up, and I'm going right back to these same things in the book of, okay, like,
you didn't. The 18 years was education.
That was education.
Right. That now you're able to.
That's right.
To harvest the fruits at this point in your career. Yeah.
That's right. And we'll continue to keep on checking because, you know, everybody's getting smarter. There's things that are telling folks, here's some new data points. So we'll always stay tweaking and adjusting. But at the end of the day, the projects, and I think of everything as a project, whether it's executing a real estate project or, you know, starting a restaurant or, you know, learning how to speak Spanish so you can go work in the Peace Corps in whatever, Guatemala. all those things. You look at the project and you kind of plan out your work, and you're seeing what does good look like. How do I lay out my roadmap to get a lot of those same things are ones that I mean, you know, the folks that are striving towards, you know, that being their dream, that being their objective, the math problem works that they can have that as a success. You don't have to do things that aren't desirable to you. You don't have to do things that, you know, maybe test your morals. Do things that you do it the right way. You know, pour all your love into it, pour all your effort into it, get good products, rinse and repeat it over and over again. You know, good things happen.
100%, 100%. So I guess a couple things I'd like to touch on. So you'd mentioned, you'd referenced Deion
Sanders.
Now, yeah, unfortunately, right, they had a tough game last night with Oregon. But I'm with you, huge fan. After his first big win over TCU, right, then thumped on Nebraska, right, used to be a powerhouse, unbelievable win against Colorado State. What if you listen to his press conferences? What is Deion challenging the press? What does he keep asking them after each one of those big wins? Do you believe? Do you believe? Do you believe? Now, the guy's successful for a reason, right? At the end, what I believe, he doesn't care. It doesn't matter that the press believes.
That's right.
But he keeps reinforcing that message, because who he's really talking to are his players.
That's right.
He knows, you know, hey, head coach is bought in. He's challenging. He's getting on the asses of the press.
That's right.
Do you believe? And so, really, the belief, right, is fundamental to all of the achievements and accomplishments and where you want to go.
That's right.
That's really that seed.
That's it has to be, and that's why, you know, seeing examples of what good looks like, seeing yourself doing it, helps you get to that belief. That's why it's so powerful.
Yeah.
When folks don't have that ability to call it realistic, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's undoable. So like you talk about the mile in your book, how all these years it can never break a 4-minute mile.
Oh my goodness.
And then once the first person broke the 4-minute mile, it's like, brrr.
That's exactly right.
Now I believe it.
Yeah.
And then you also touched on, I think it was Henry Ford, you said the quote where he's like, if you believe you can or you can't, you're right.
That's right.
Like if you believe, oh, I can't do it, yeah, you're right.
Exactly right.
You can't do it. But if you believe you can do it, oh no, you're right.
Protect, dream, right? You know, find your goals, and whatever it takes. Like surround yourself with people that have that same mentality, the Whayle mentality, right? That's going to encourage you, right? And that's going to nourish that belief.
Exactly.
Right? Those that want to detract, because there's going to be a lot more of those out there.
That's right. That's
okay, thank you, move on.
You knew that, exactly. Move on. Just
move on. That's fine. But protect, because at the end of the day, it's about what you believe.
That's
right.
That's right.
And then, harness, lean into that, and then that's going to create the momentum. Because the other thing that, so we're talking about these lessons, and I promise you, every viewer, they're hearing attitude, belief, choices, persistence. They're all like, yep. Yeah, I know that. Yeah. I know that, right? But to me, there is one primary obstacle that prevents people, myself included, from whatever's holding me back from the next, the next evolution of myself, and that's fear. Fear, and whatever it is, right? To be honest, like when we were talking about this, like man, the butterflies,
exactly.
right? And like it takes an 8-year-old to be like, Dad, you're scared of butterflies,
right?
That's right.
That's right.
And that's like, so again, going back to those lessons though, like fill your mind. You need to really fill your mind, protect it with those that want to be in your circle and truly want your success. Heck, YouTube. I'm not a big reader.
Yeah.
I've read a lot more of recently. I try to read the material, from the great thought leaders and achievers and succeeders. And the reason being is because when I'm laying in that bed and I'm tossing and turning and I've got that fear and that anxiety and doubt about whatever, like I want to have enough of that ammunition.
That's right. To fight
that's going to combat it and be like, this is like.
Nah, that's all right. They told me it was going to be a grind.
That's exactly right.
They told me I was going to be a little bit scary.
That's right.
Yeah. Like all the great ones have that same issue. They all broke mine.
That's right.
Like, it's that mindset of, that's just another item that I have the ability to combat this.
Right.
This is nothing that's a surprise.
That's it. This is giving you just ammunition to temper that fear.
Exactly.
And frankly, I think, it's the action you take.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing too, right? Yes, you want to be educated, right? If I'm going to go on this trip, yeah, okay, a map would be helpful, right? A full tank of gas, the tire, right? There's some key checks you want to do before you take off, right?
Yeah,
look both ways before you cross the first intersection, right? But if you're sitting back and you're telling yourself, well, I still have uncertainty, right? So let me read this one more book. Let me go and get that additional degree.
Yeah.
Let me go, and you're using that as a crutch to take action.
That's right.
You'll be sitting there forever.
You'll sit there forever.
Right.
No, yeah, you're right. A lot of times, inaction is an action. Inaction is a choice to say,
right.
I don't want to make the decision.
It's a choice, yeah.
And I'll sit here and just let what happens happen.
That's right.
Versus, like in extreme martial, they'll say default aggressive. No, you choose.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting there, should I call? Should I not? No, just call.
That's right.
Who cares? What happens?
What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Yeah.
If you can live with the worst thing that's going to happen, you can live with it. Just do it.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. And those are the kind of things that, especially when you do it with the right tact, with the right care, with the right love, with the right kindness, with all these things. Right. It's an honest, like, hey, are you interested in this? This is what I'm doing. And if you're not, tell me why. I like feedback.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, even if you get 5 no's, you learn from all 5 of those no's, and then you get that one yes.
That's right.
And now all of a sudden, boom, the seed's open.
There's no no's though, right? They're all not yets.
They're not yet.
They're just not yet.
Not yet. To tweak this a little bit.
That's exactly
not
right.
Yet. That's right.
That's right.
So that's the thing that makes it satisfying and makes it universal. It makes it where you truly say, like, yeah, if I can instill these skills in my children, and I pass away, and you do these things right, you're gonna be okay. You'll never go broke. You'll never go broke. It doesn't matter. You're already in a state of, I might have to tweak, I might have to move, I might have to adjust the family.
That's right.
You might have to go learn a new craft. You might have to go learn a new language. Like, guys, hey, this is part of it. Like, let's not feel sorry for ourselves. We all knew that this was part of the struggle. Like, everybody had it.
It's teaching the man to fish versus fishing, right? Exactly. So if all I'm doing is providing for my children, just giving them thing after thing, right?
Yep.
They go out in the real world. It's going to be a rude awakening.
It's a rude awakening,
right? So
no, you're spot on, and as we can see them and show them success, and I admire that you do in front of your children. I get a kick out of just having a conference call in the car when I'm dropping the kids off. Yeah. They can kind of hear the banter back and forth, and they get their mind, okay, like, so this is how they're applying what they learned in school. Like, yeah, he didn't really, use Romeo and Juliet per se, but he cracked a joke about it here and there, and the other person picked up on it. So that was a rapport building.
They're picking up on that. Yeah.
So like that was still better than nothing. Yeah, he learned it. Yeah. And he's not writing his papers in Old English anymore. Right. But that comment was built off of that, and that helped build that relationship up a little bit.
That's right.
Be universal and be well versed in other things, and learn how to say hi in 15 languages and all these things. Like if you can just do that, like you want somebody's country to say hi in their language, like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Hi and thank you.
Hi and thank you. That's right. You'll stay alive. Yeah. And they'll learn another word. They'll learn another word.
That's
learn another word. You're just vectoring better, and you did it in the right way. Yeah, and so, I don't know. So so without being too preachy, again, it's one of those things where you tell yourself, stay on that wavelength. Find those things that are good teaching books. Find those things that are reinforcing the same message. Yeah. And vibrate there. And if it's not there, move that stuff away. Like, swim, move it.